Now, with matrics writing geography today, we can say that the 2023 matric exams are in full swing. Now, officially in the third week of exams, most matriculants across the country should be well entrenched and prepared for the last stretch. Many of the matriculants have been already asking about the final matric results and what do the past grades mean. To help answer some of those questions is the Education Department spokesperson Mhlanga, and he joins us now virtually. Mr. Mhlanga, just first of all, good afternoon. First of all, how have things been going? Any challenges that you've encountered since it started 3 weeks ago?
Good afternoon, myself. Not really. We have not encountered any threatening challenges. It's just been the adverse weather conditions that have gotten us worried, but even there we've been able to manage. So you are correct. We are on week 3, a week where most of the crucial subjects, I'm saying crucial because in previous instances of exam paper leaks, these are the subjects that are featuring in that list. You are correct. It's geography today, it's English tomorrow, accounting on Thursday, and life sciences on Friday. So those are the big papers, but so far so good, and we're happy.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask, because we are in that last stretch where usually it's your life science, physical science, geography, etc. that's been written, and that's when we start to hear stories of a leakage. Any concerns around the pupils themselves, the matriculants themselves, people, for instance, wanting to commit suicide or, experiencing loads of stress?
In fact, that was there in the beginning of the exams. We got lots of reports around that. We've had to attend to some of those instances in some of the schools to try and find out what is happening and what we can do as a department. But since then, the situation has stabilized. What we are picking up daily, though, is the continued use of crib notes by some candidates in the exam center. Others are bringing in cell phones. That continues every day, even though we talk about it. But we pick up those cases and we report them, and we note those candidates for further investigations once the exam is concluded.
Maybe let me give you an opportunity, not just for the pupils themselves who might be home watching, but their parents as well. Your advice as the department: what happens to a matric pupil who's found to have cheated, crib notes, cell phones, etc.? What happens to that person? Do they become expelled? Do they then, not finish writing and they have to come back the following year?
No, they will allow them to continue. We are not that brutal when it comes to these types of things, because we understand that it may not be the entire exam, but just that one subject that was giving you problems. So we allow you to continue, but the marking of that particular script will go under scrutiny, because we want to establish what it is that you did and whether you benefited from that particular exam. But also, depending on how you present your case, you could be forgiven for that, but you are still going to be investigated. Will come through for a hearing, and the decision will be taken thereafter, after all the factors have been considered and you've presented your case. But it's not something that you need to do. It's not something that you really want to get yourself involved in, because it's going to affect you. You will be uncertain as to whether you'll get your results or not. There are preventative ways of dealing with that. It's proper preparation, making sure that you talk about the challenges you're facing so that you can get the assistance and support that you deserve for you to be able to walk into an exam center without any crib notes or cell phones.
So now I know, Mr. Mhlanga, you can't talk to me about, every detail or security detail in terms of transporting the different papers to the schools. But, just your general comment on what the department has done to safeguard the papers from being leaked again, from being leaked this year.
Yeah, no, we worked hard to manage the time from point to point. I think that's also key, because previously we thought we needed to give people more time to do what they needed to do. So now we've cut down the time that happens in between the next item in the itinerary. So that is not giving people enough time to do the things that they used to do. But every movement is closely monitored under heavy security of all types. technology as well as human resources. So we've done all that. And may I add again that it's through the input of state security who are giving some guidance to us in terms of what we can do to tighten the system. And we are happy with it. And so many papers have been written since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we're here, we haven't had a single incident. So we're happy. It means that whatever it is that we've done is working, and we'll continue to make improvements.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you have a hawk's eye on provinces such as the Eastern Cape. I think that was the province that became a bit of a problem with one of the science papers last year.
Yeah, I think hawks is the right way to use in this case. We use the assistance of the hawks as well in terms of the police and the resources that they have, where there are incidents of illegal activities, in fact, that are taking place. So we invite them to work with us, but we are keeping a close eye. They've given us problems before. We've put more people there. Officials from the DBE are out and about. I'm also in Mhlanga as part of that exercise of monitoring our exams. And you know there was a challenge in the last exam, so we're trying to make sure that those things don't happen again this time around.
Just lastly, Mr. Mhlanga, and this question has to do with matrics, but not necessarily the exams. It's a big weekend for South Africa in terms of the general elections next year. A lot of the matriculants are turning 18. They'll become eligible to cast their ballots next year. And as Minister Angie Motshekga sometimes calls them, bana ba gage, what kind of preparations would you say they should, have for this weekend? Do you want to probably encourage them to register to vote?
We do so. In fact, we have a weekly meeting with the IEC so far as that is concerned. The latest one was yesterday. We do some planning in terms of what we can do in partnership with the IEC to encourage those that qualify to register to vote. As things stand today, the last count when I checked the system, we're at 281,174 candidates who are currently writing matric. As I'm speaking to you right now, who qualify to register and vote. But of course, every day it's somebody's birthday and the numbers are going up. But we are urging them to please take this opportunity and go register and stand a good chance of voting and making your mark in the elections coming up in 2024. It's everybody's responsibility. And we urge them to go out, use that as a break if you study, and use that as a break, go out and register to vote and come back and do your work until the exam is over.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Elijah Mhlanga, live for us in Mpumalanga. He's the spokesperson for the Basic Education Department.